Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me. Today I have a lovely makeup tutorial for you, and it's the makeup look I had in my previous video, and it's a makeup look I've literally been wearing every single day this summer. I love it. I did do a bit more highlighting and contouring than I usually do. You know, I felt like being a tad bit more glamorous today, so you'll see it all in the video. I hope you guys enjoy it. If you have any other video requests, do leave them in the below bar. And if you would like a more in-depth version of how I highlight and I contour, I will film that for you too. Thanks again for tuning in, guys, and I will see you in my next video. Love you. Mwah! Okay guys, so first I like to start with my eyebrows, and I brush them upwards and fill them in with the Rimmel London eyebrow pencil in dark brown. It's my favorite pencil and I've been using it for years and years and years, and I feel like it does the job really well. So I fill in my brows with light brush strokes, lighter towards the front and darker towards the back, and I define them using the MAC Prolong Wear Concealer in the shade NC45, and the brush I'm using is actually a smoky eye brush. Well, that's how they described it on the packets, and I bought it from Superdrugs. But it's basically just a flat angled brush, and that's what I'm using to define my brows. Blending with my fingers, of course. Just filling in a few sparse areas there. So on top of my eyebrows, I like to use a shade that is very close to my skin color. So I use my Select Cover Up from MAC again, and I use the shade NC50, and that's what I like to use to define the top of my brows, just so I don't have that halo appearance after I finish defining them. I think it's better to use a shade that's your color. So this is the most important bit, is fading the top of your brows. Make sure you fade it so you don't have that boxy appearance. That's how you get that more natural look when you fade it in. So at this point I needed to change my location because the sun was just being weird. So now I'm using the same Select Cover Up that I used on top of my brows, and I'm using that on any dark areas of my skin. So you can see that I'm using it around my mouth and dark spots on my face, and I also use a bit on my eyelids, which are darker than my skin. So next up, it's my favorite part, and it's my highlighting and contouring. So right now I'm highlighting under my eyes, and I'm using MAC's Prolong Wear Concealer in NC45, and I'm using the Real Techniques, I think it's their foundation brush, I don't know, but I use that to apply it, and to blend it out I'm using their face brush to blend out that concealer seamlessly. I really do love the Real Technique brushes. They're like my absolute favorite, and they last forever. So I really recommend those brushes. So I'm doing the same thing again on the other eye. And you can see I dragged it to the side of my nose as well, and that just helps with the contouring process, with contouring my nose. Blend, blend, blend. So now I'm going to start contouring my nose, and I just draw a line down the center of my nose, up towards my forehead, and then the beautiful tree. And I blend it out with my fingers on my nose, and then with the face brush on my forehead. Really pay attention to blending out your forehead, because for me, I've always had trouble with that, but blending. So now I'm doing my jawline contour, and I'm doing the reverse contour. So I'm doing the lighter shade right under where I'm about to place my contour, and I'm blending that out with my Real Techniques brush, and then my chin and my Cupid's bow as well. So now I'm using setting powder under my eyes, and what I'm using is Ben Nye's Luxury Powder, and I've mixed Banana and Topaz together. I find I get a really lovely shade when I mix them. So I put that on all the areas I have applied the lighter concealer. And then because today I wanted a bit of a brighter look, I went on top of that with the Mercier Universal Translucent Powder. So that's the one that's white. So now I'm contouring, and I'm using my favorite thing to contour, and it's the Black Opal foundation stick, and the shade I am using is Black Walnut, and I'm using my Real Techniques contour brush. I think this is one of their new brushes, and I use that to blend it all in. But I love Black Walnut for contouring. I used to use Suede Mocha, but I've switched it up to Black Walnut, and it's a bit warmer, so I love that. Okay, so now I'm putting on my face powder, and it's a mixture of the MAC Mineralize Skin Finish powders, and I mix deep dark and dark together to get my perfect shade, and I place that all over my face, so everywhere, on top of my contour, on top of my highlight, just to blend everything together nicely. And that's how I get away without wearing any foundation. The Mineralize Skin Finish is literally just do it all. So now I'm setting my contour, and I'm using the Sleek Face Form contour kit in the shade medium, and I've put that on top of all the areas I've contoured. And now I'm doing my blush, and I'm using Raisin by MAC. That's like my everyday go-to for my blush. Just blending out my eyebrows with a eyebrow brush, and I will be setting them with the MUA Clear Mascara. I love to brush my brows upwards because it just gives it a very natural appearance. So now I'm doing my highlighting, and I'm back with the Sleek Face Form, and I'm using the bronzy shade in the palette. So I put that on first, and then right on top of that I use the more highlighting peachy shade to get a more of a prominent look. Now I'm just doing a bit of nose contouring with the face form. So my favorite thing as well is doing my tear duct pop, and the shade I use is just a shimmery champagne-y colour from my Sleek Sunset palette. Just adding a bit more highlight there. Okay, now I'm feeling myself. Okay, so we've moved on to the lips now, and I'm using the NYX Retractable Lip Liner in the shade Cocoa, and I'm using that in the center of my lips, right below my Cupid's bow, and on the bottom of my lip as well. Such a lovely shade. I love this lip liner. Then in the corners, to add a bit more definition, I'm using MAC's lip liner in Nightmoth, another one of my favorite lip liners. So on top of that, I'm using the NYX matte lipstick in the shade Alabama. Feeling myself clearly. Then on top of that again, I'm using Sleek's lipstick in Bare All. Making sure to blend it all in nicely so there's no harsh lines. Going in with a bit more lip liner. Then to give it that really crisp and defined look, I'm using my concealer in the shade NC50, my Select Cover Up, and I'm using that to really define my lips and clean up any lip liner that has got out of place. This is really an important step in making your lips look fierce. So to finish it off, I'm going to go on top of everything with the Mercier translucent powder, and that just gives it the super matte look. And then we're done. Hope you liked it, and I'll see you in my next video. Where's my remote thingy bobby? Where did it go? Where did it go? Where did it go? Oh, here it is.